Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Cleveland Browns halftime show with the score 13-3 Browns on top of the Titans. There's really only a few things that I can say about this game. And to be analytical about it, it doesn't make any damn bit of difference. These games are rigged, it's fixed, and the league doesn't want us to win. It doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the season. This cannot, I say this every year, it can't be coincidence. How do you blow a play dead when it never fucking stopped? How do you call him out of bounds when it wasn't even close? Look how long they examined Hopkins' reception that they ended up not overturning because they didn't have a zoom factor on it. No. There's a whistle. For the Browns, it's an inadvertent whistle. It's a whistle. You can't challenge the play. You can't do it. It isn't 2 weeks in a row, Gemini. It's every fucking year, at least 7 or 8 different games. If you don't realize that these league officials and everybody in the league are gambling on the outcomes of these games, if they have no problem making the kind of money they do, crippling men, then what problem do they have? What integrity of the game? They've sold the whole game away to betting complexes across the country. It's more money to be made, right? Now I'll say something else. Before the final play, I'm sitting there with my girlfriend watching the game. I said, now remember, the one thing the Titans cannot afford is a quarterback sack. So they got to throw a fade, something quick into the end zone so the clock will stop, so they'll kick the field goal. Great play by Myles Garrett, but what are they thinking? Running a long developing play in that situation, they couldn't stop the clock. That is the worst call that you can imagine that an offensive coordinator and a head coach could come up with in a situation like that. And something, the fact of the matter is, and I understand, Joy, that you want to get your MAGA horse shit, fuck cunt shit on my program. Get the hell out of here. There's no comparison between that and that. One you can prove with your eyes, you idiot. One you actually saw with your own eyes in the best seat in the house from 4 different angles. God, you're stupid. God almighty. I'm sorry, but I have absolutely no empathy for the ignorant. Oh, my God. So what I can tell you is this. And if something's frozen on your end, Ron, it's not frozen on my end. I'm sorry if there's something that's blocking you. That's on your end, I think, not on mine. So we can at least shut up about Deshaun Watson for now. For now. For now. Played a good first half. Should have had more points on the board. Should have had 17 points instead of 13 points on the board, which in a half is tremendous. His completion is hot, percentage is high. He's thrown for probably around 140, somewhere around 140, 150 yards. The ball's confidently leaving his hand. It's on target. This offense is not going to travel 90 yards and score very many points, And I think that's that. It's a 13-3 game, and it really went fast, didn't it? The first half went, especially the first quarter was gone, like, immediately. Uh, and uh, that was an incredibly bad decision. I'll be the first one to admit that. But I think what a lot of people were suggesting was that he's been waiting too long to throw the ball and he's off timing and all that. Has not been the case today. And again, the only way the other team scores points is because Elijah Moore put the ball on the ground. He should have gone out of bounds, but instead he spun it back in and he went right into a strip tackle. And that's not the defense's fault. At the end there, though, the defense had better watch itself because they can't allow Tannehill to stand there in the pocket like a statue surveying the field. And they're looking to find Cameron Mitchell. That's obvious. And I'm not sure why Cam Mitchell is playing so much in the secondary. I haven't seen if somebody got hurt. If somebody knows in the chat room, I'd appreciate knowing. Yeah, you are. You just won't admit it here, Joy. You're a MAGA person. The only people who cry about rigged elections are the ones who lose. Don't you understand the way it works? My God. Oh, okay, David. Thank you. He's the one who's filling in for Newsom, who has the extended elbow. All right. Hyper extended elbow. You know something, John? For 6 months of the year, yes, I'm in Ohio for 6 months of the year, and the other 6 months down in Florida. So I'm enjoying my time in Northeast Ohio tremendously. We have to play a really solid second half, and it starts with stopping Tennessee like we did in the first possession that they had in the game. We have to stonewall them and start getting field position. The problem with Tennessee is the problem with all really solid defensive units is that they like to win the battle of field position and kick field goals. And that Folk, their kicker, is not going to miss from inside of his basic range. Kudos to our kicker, Hopkins, for making the kicks that he's made. 52-yarder is a hell of a kick. And the 48-yarder was a hell of a kick too. But they'll stay in the game as long as they can stay in the game by pushing us back within the shadows of our goalpost. And we're not running the football. And that makes it doubly hard for Deshaun Watson, who knows that you're not going to get any yardage on the ground. And this is going to be an ongoing problem for the team. We take it 1 week at a time, and we try to win one game at a time. That's the way it works. Emerson, they threw at him once unsuccessfully, once successfully. He was trying to cover Hopkins. Hopkins looks pretty good to me. Where they went to Moore, that was the switch off with Cam Mitchell. So, but the quarterback should not have that much time to throw the football. And I think that's my concern. And this is very true, CO Dead. Taking Henry out of the game, making him an east-west runner instead of a north-south runner is huge. But as long as the game is 13-3, the Titans can easily win this football game. For the Browns, the important thing is to get a stop, get field position, and put up 7 more. If you can be up 23 against a team like this, then it really pushes them against the limits of what their offense is constructed to do. But as long as they have Hopkins in the game and you're one blown coverage away or one mistake away or one turnover away, they can be right back, on the right back in the game. And these are huge statistics, 1 of 7 on third down. This is something that the Browns defense has been consistently doing this year. Myles Garrett is playing a huge game this year. And I'm really very happy that for the most part, we saw a little breakdown twice as far as jumping, being overeager and jumping at the line of scrimmage. We have to keep our discipline up there. We can't give them 5 yards a crack in those types of situations. And I think that's something that I'm sure Schwartz is telling his defensive line. Don't give away free yards. We can't afford to do that. that's where we're at right now. There's no running game for Cleveland. And I did see Cedric Tillman on the field for a couple of plays, nothing that the ball was not thrown to him, but I'm still really smarting over the whole thing with Amari Cooper and the failure of the officials to give him, to allow that to be a touchdown, which it would have been either when he ran it into the end zone or where he stuffed it in the end zone. This is if we all did our jobs as badly as these officials are doing, we would come under question too. With so much money flying around, we would be accused of being on the take, and I'm formally accusing them of being on the take, because that call can't happen. Yeah, and that's true, Gemini. You got to look, if you're using the middle of the field, you got to look at Ford. Ford's a guy you can throw to out of the backfield. He can get up ahead of steam. And if he does, he can push some people backwards. You can get some decent gains. We still see nothing in the middle of the field to Njoku. So that becomes a problem. Yeah. And do I buy that Chubb only tore his MCL? The answer is they can't say that specifically. And I got to go after this to check out the second half of the game. But they can't say that until they go inside the knee. The reason you sign documentation before you go into surgery, allowing the surgeon to do any work that's necessary to fix the problem, is because imaging by itself does not tell the whole story. They got to go into the knee. And I think it's likely there is going to be damage to the ACL as well. I will be back after the game with the post-game show, and let's hope it's a happy one. Let's go, Browns. Let's play a great second half, and let's put the hammer to them early on this first possession. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you after the game. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. See you after the game.